I'm Sungmo from Polygon Labs, and I head up APAC. So let's discuss about what we can do together. Yeah, so I'm just going to give a brief outline of what we are doing and our strategy in terms of the Asia Pacific. So, yeah. So this is do I have a like? Oh, I can just like let you like. Okay. The next slide, please. Next, yeah. Yes. So just like Sandeep just mentioned, Polygon is trying to build infrastructure and mass adoption infrastructure for the blockchain space. So that's why we are developing all these different kind of products at the same time. So Polygon is a brand of a lot of different products. So Polygon POS is what we all know at this moment. So everyone is building on POS. It's like an open commodity, so everyone can use it. And Polygon ZK EVM, of course, you guys all know it's zero knowledge based EVM. So your data will be more privately secured. And here's a Polygon CDK. This is what I'm going to discuss mostly today. And like we are just focusing so much on Polygon CDK. So Polygon CDK is actually next slide, please. Yeah, I'll come back to the CDK, but like this is the Polygon journey from like we have started from 2017 and over to 2024, and like it's about like 8 to 9 years, and like you know, in Web3 industry, 8 years like I don't know 30 years or something. So we have been here for a very long time. We have been in the front line of the renovating and innovating the industry as a whole. So the POS is what we have been talking, and everyone is building on POS before all the CDK happened. So POS is mostly robust and battle tested, we say, scaling solution for the Ethereum. That means we have really fast transaction speed and low cost and all the trustworthy, but like everyone know, recently we had a inscription, let's say war, to all the different kinds of mainnets. And some of the mainnets have went down and it did not work. But for Polygon POS, we have been able to successfully battle test those all kinds of inscription, which is a lot of transaction in 1 second. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, so these are just the metrics that we have extracted from last year. So these are all the important numbers. So yeah, I think the transaction in 1 day is like compared to the other competitors, we're at a very in front of the competitors, so we're a very competitive chain. Next slide. Yeah, so and we are now focusing on inviting more and more developers to our ecosystem. And if you compare to the other ecosystem as well, there are by far a lot more developers, and they're forming a very strong ecosystem for the Polygon developers because we are trying to scale the Ethereum ecosystem. Next slide. Yeah, so this is basically what we are doing together. So compared to the other competitors, we are just covering all the different sectors of the infrastructure in terms of the blockchain. Next slide. Yes. Yeah, that's what I just mentioned. Under next slide. So these are the all the very important partners that we have. So for example, we have been a very close partner with the Nike, which is still running a very successful platform, which is Swoosh, and also we are very close partner with we have been very close in partner with the Starbucks, which they recently shut down, but they have been incredibly building a very successful case for the Web3 user experiences. And nowadays, we are more focusing on the Web3 native parts so that we can partner up with the Web3 native partners. So for example, you can see a lot of different names in terms of this. You see Magic and Sequence and OKX Wallet and OKX as a layer as well. So we are more focusing on the Web3 ecosystem rather than Web2 enterprises. Next. Yeah, so we all know that now, as we are all here for the Polygon, Ethereum ecosystem is really important, and it is really important for us to scale that. And because everyone wants to use Ethereum, because that's where all the developers are, all the ecosystem and infrastructure is. But the problem is, Ethereum actually brought a very innovative idea of smart contract where app can actually run. But the problem was there are so less capacity and very expensive gas fee structure. So that's why Polygon is here to make those limitation scalable. Next slide. So this is what we are trying to do. So that's why we started as a sidechain, a POS. So we were trying to scale that by doing a sidechain, but nowadays we are trying to make that happen through an L2 infrastructure layer. Next slide. Yes, next slide. So the problem is, like, you guys all probably know the blockchain trilemma. So if you the trilemma basically is you cannot achieve all three of these. So if you want scalability and security, you need to be centralized. And if you want decentralized and scalable, then you lose your security. So we just cannot ensure every three of very important sector to be secured at the same time. So the idea to solve this problem was to make all the things modular. So next. So by modular, probably you know everything, but like there are many parts to it. So there's the execution layer, and there's the computation and the consensus layer, and dataability layer. But like we are trying to build a blockchain infrastructure where things can be modular, so that we can enter the roll-up centric L2 roadmap. So probably you all know what L2 is, but L2 is basically wrapping up all the transaction at the site layer, and then combining all that to write that into an Ethereum layer. Next slide. Yeah, I just mentioned. Yeah, next slide. So that's why we are trying to build a CDK. I think this is the most important keyword today, because we are pushing towards, and as a head of APAC, I am trying to push really hard for the CDK. And CDK is an abbreviation for Chain Development Kit. That means it's basically a SDK where you can build your own L2. So basically, within a few clicks, you can actually deploy your own L2 in a few seconds. That's what we are trying to do. Next slide, please. And you can, yeah, just like I mentioned, if you use CDK, you will be able to get your zero knowledge powered layer 2. And you can actually customize all the blockchain infrastructure in terms of the gas fee structure or like finality, everything, so that you can actually customize the L2 for your own DApp or your ecosystem. Yes, so that's what I just mentioned. That you can probably customize your throughput to your own customized way, and you can predict your gas and cost, because there is no competition of the other DApps competing for the block space. And of course, you can customize your architecture. So for example of existing L2, we have Immutable X. So you guys probably all know who Immutable X is. We are trying to share all the gaming pipeline to Immutable X, because they are very specialist in terms of the gaming publisher. So we are trying to focus on the technical side and give them sustainable technical support, and they can just focus on what they're good at, which is gaming publishing. And also for each regions, I am trying to look for a very reliable partner. So for example, in Japan, we have A-Star, who are very good at doing management in the Japanese enterprise and the enterprise, and also the startups. So I'm also looking for a great partner to work closely with the Hong Kong region or Southeast Asia as well. Yeah, so, and the most interesting part about this is there are a lot of other L2 stacks. So for example, we have OP stack, and we also have Arbitrum. But the thing is, the problem of them is the liquidity is fragmented. What we mean by this is, let's say you have USDT in base, and you want to buy some NFT on Zora, which is another L2, then what you need to do is you need to bridge that USDT over back to Ethereum and then back to Zora so that you can buy the NFT. But what we are trying to do is we are going to create a layer in between layer 1 and layer 2, and we are going to unify all the liquidity together so that you can just instantaneously buy NFT in the other chain. That's what Sandeep just mentioned in the panel talk. Yeah, so here, the Polygon POS will also be one of the CDK, and we are going to create an aggregation layer, Agg layer, so that what we can do is we can unify all the liquidity together. And what it makes possible is when you make a new L2 on other stack, you need to secure a lot of liquidity. So that's why other chains are doing airdrop with the Ethereum locking airdrop scheme and everything, because that way they can secure the Ethereum and liquidity at the same time. But if you work together with Polygon, we already have unified liquidity together. So you do not really have to do all those stuff, but you can already enjoy the abundant liquidity layer that we have created together with the existing other partners. Yeah, so there will be many more other partners onboarding, which we have not just mentioned. And we are also announcing few CDK partnership within next week, which is very exciting. And this kind of aggregation layer is basically helping all the L to succeed really well. Yeah, so basically, Ethereum was monolithic, but like we are transitioning into modular period. So you'll probably see there are a lot of modular startups coming up. So for example, DA layer is really hot, like Celestia, Eigenlayer, or those EA layers are really hot, and also many other execution layers are coming up. So I think, and we all think, next era will be modular, and then we are headed towards aggregated layer where we can all consolidate all the fragmented liquidities. Yes, and we are here to build together, and next slide is we can build general purpose chain just like a A-Star in Japan, or we can build a gaming layer like a Immutable, and we can do any other chains who are focusing on each of these kind of sectors. So there are many others joining together, so I believe there will be a big ecosystem after this. Yeah, next slide. And so basically this was it. So if you have any question or collaboration idea, feel free to reach me out. So I can always help you develop any important things together. Yeah, thank you.